The last thing we're going to talk about is health inequality and the potential health storm that is on its way, and are you ready for it? Hello and welcome to another edition of the Vysana newsletter. I'm Dr. Tony Desi, GP, wellness doctor and women's health advocate and specialist, and here I am in clinic. So what have I got to share with you today? So I'm going to talk about is health inequality and the potential health storm that is on its way, and are you ready for it? So if you're wondering what I'm doing with these are test tubes, and we're just filling them with normal saline, and the reason for that is that we want to create a weight in our centrifuge, so that when we're adding other test tubes with blood in and then they're spinning, we don't want the weight to be unbalanced. So adding a little bit of normal saline into there does help. So if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel already, then please do. Check us out on other platforms as well, like LinkedIn, Instagram, and of course Facebook and TikTok. And I hope you enjoy the newsletter. We enjoy feedback, and I look forward to sharing this week's hints and tips with you from clinic. Thanks very much for watching. So, health storm is coming. What does that mean? I think this one is a little bit more of a serious note. So it's a conversation I often have with patients, with yourselves. If you're watching, it's about health inequality. Depends where you live in the world. I live in Rutland and in Leicestershire, and health provision is relatively good, but at my age, at 45, and I'm sure those of you who are younger and agree, unless there's something seriously wrong, you don't often have to use your general practitioner or your GP in the NHS. You don't often have to use hospitals. It's only when something goes wrong that you really get an insight into what's going on. Now, when I started out as a junior doctor in 2006, 2007, I worked down south in Surrey, and I thought that health provision was pretty good. When I used to work in A&E, there were waiting times of less than 4 hours. It was driven, efficient, whether that was the government at the time or whether it was the time where maybe less people are unwell, or maybe it's where the hospital was. I felt that it wasn't compared to how it is now. I think health inequality, and what do I mean by that? I think that people are more unwell. I think as we get older, chronic disease has become more of a serious problem, and it's affecting more and more people. And it's not just chronic disease, it's also things like cancer as well. And I think as we get older and the government has less resources to put into healthcare, and we live in what we call as a modern lifestyle, eating a westernized or modern foodstuffs that are maybe more processed than what previous generations were used to. I think that all of those elements, not just what we eat, it's not just what we do, it's all of the elements of our environment, the stress that is in our lives, I think that starts to build in a health inequality. And we don't often put ourselves first and invest in our health until it becomes too late. The conventional model is that if you're unwell and you're sick, that's what you get treated. Health prevention is sometimes put on the back burner because you deal with it when it becomes a problem. So this is one of the things that we focus on in clinic, and I think there's a bit of a storm coming. I think that in time, with resources becoming less and less, the NHS the way it is, perhaps there'll be more elements of private care in the NHS. Perhaps we'll all have to pay into a health insurance scheme. But what I do know is that those health insurance premiums will go up. If our health isn't good, we'll get penalised for it. So one of the messages I want to put across today in this video, which is it's a very serious note, I'm going to smile anyway to bring some brevity to it, is that please do think about investing in your health. Do try and go and see your doctor if you need to. Don't put things off. If you've noticed things that aren't quite right, then don't just brush it on the carpet. And secondly, also look at elements of your life. How much stress is there in your life? What's your diet like? Am I exercising on a daily basis? And exercise can just be a brisk walk for 30 minutes. One of the things I always advocate to patients is that you don't have to go to the gym necessarily. You don't have to be playing a sport, but if you can just go for a walk every day for 30 minutes to an hour, take some time out, rain or shine, and walk at a brisk pace, a pace where if you were trying to hold a conversation on a mobile, you'd be struggling, or if you were talking to someone next to you, you're probably walking in a bit more silence because you're just that ever so slightly out of breath. Doing that every day is a great foundation for improving your health. So that health storm is coming, and more of these newsletters will have hints and tips about health prevention. Yes, of course, we offer treatments in clinic, but I'm always an advocate for those of us who you're watching in the UK. It's NHS. We have a great healthcare system and we should try and protect it as much as possible, but change is coming, and the way that we can prevent or reduce the harm to us or the damage to us is by investing in our health now, by doing little things like that. Go for a walk every day, 30 minutes to an hour, walking at a pace. We're not dawdling, we're walking quite fast. Maybe I'll demonstrate that in next week's newsletter. So thanks for watching. So thank you for watching this week's newsletter. I hope you enjoyed it. This is me, Dr. Sunny Desi, and this is Vysana Life. I hope that you have already subscribed to the YouTube channel if you're watching it on there. If you haven't, go and do that now. And I look forward to sharing more with you next week in our weekly newsletter. Thanks for watching.